out of Entourage? Like, in other words, was...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Out of Entourage.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first thought was, okay, should I tell him, like, would he know who I am if I say, like, my Twitter name and stuff? So I go up to him, and I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. He's approachable, and I was like, I mentioned who I was on Twitter, and you know what the first thing he said to me was?
What?
It's like,
I hate you?
No, because again, this is before I knew.
Right.
He knew who I was.
Right.
Because you don't want to say like, oh, I'm so and so on Twitter, and have a look like, who?
Right.
And he's like, oh, do you still talk to Zach's mom?
Oh.
I was like, oh, he knows who and we started talking, and he was very friendly. He gave me a lot of hugs. He was really now I don't know if this was motivated by hoping that I wouldn't talk shit about him if he comes back on the show. I don't know. I want to just give him the benefit of the doubt and think that he just, when he's not being filmed, he's actually really down to earth and he's really friendly. And it was surprising, because I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it was. We talked for 10 minutes, and all I kept thinking about was, oh my god, if his because let's just remember, his fans did not like me at all during the season, and I'm just thinking to myself, maybe because and I also clarified because people on Twitter would tag him all the time saying, Miss Cleo called your mom a C-U-T. Miss Cleo said this about your sister, and I said, Frankie, just for the record, I did not call your mom the C word. I did not say this about Ariana. I did not say this. And he's like, don't worry. I know. And so...
Well, I will say I completely agree with you in your Frankie assessment. I did not hate him on his season.
What?
I didn't, because here's the thing. I don't feel like it was his fault. CBS brought him on, and he's going to use the fact that his sister's Ariana Grande. If CBS came to me hey, and I was Madonna's brother, I would go into that house voguing. I would be like, oh, hey, everybody, I'm going to send whatever the fuck Madonna's fans are after all your asses if you kick me out. I just didn't think it was fair to hate him for using Ariana when CBS went to him. He didn't apply. So, but what, okay.
We will agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fun. I like
But this was also when I was, a hardcore Zach Rant stan, and was all about,
Here's what I'll say. I'll say first time I met Frankie was in Entourage, and it was 2 years ago, and it was I felt bad. It was at the Big Brother premiere party 2 years ago, and when he rolled up in the Entourage, everybody ran to him. And keep in mind, and I mean left all the other reality stars, and keep in mind, Rachel was there, Brendan was there. And I felt bad for all. So, and he was very standoffish with me that time. However, this year, we talked for 30 minutes. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. Everybody was going somewhere after. He was down to earth and amazing this year.
Yeah. Well, also, and this is the way it relates to it is related. When I went to the Big Brother 16 after party, he was there, and all of the former house guests flocked to him. I'm not going to comment on what their motivations may be, but just saying, I don't think that if he comes back for an All-Star season, I don't think he's going to be the first out or the second out. The alumni like him, and they don't want to wrong him, in my opinion. And I feel like he has the potential to go very far, partially because of that. He's also happens to be really good at competing in those competitions, but...
I'm going to hear so you can nail me down, and I will say this is not a joke. but I have to phrase it this way, but I'm going to say it now in this Miss Cleo show. My guess is that Frankie will not ever play this game again. Or I don't have to guess it. I'll say, I don't think Frankie will ever play this game again. My guess is because I don't think they will ever meet his price to play the game again.
Interesting.
So that
Interesting
is my guess as to why Frankie won't play this game again. And
you know, but why does he keep going back on CBS? Like, what there has to be some motivation for why he's going to the friggin' tapings, why he's going to Price is Right. Like, he wants to still be associated with Big Brother.
I think he wants to be associated with Big Brother. I think that it's more exposure than the Amazon show gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it benefits his Amazon show to people remember him, seeing him in the Big Brother audience, maybe grab some of that audience back, bring him over to his Amazon thing.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I
feel like he just would relish the attention that he would get if him and Zach are brought back and Zaki could become a thing again, and all, like, I just have a hard time seeing him turning something like that down, especially because I don't know how long this Amazon thing is going to last. And like, the thing about Big Brother, love it or hate it, it gets you a lot of attention, especially when you're a social media mogul. It gets you a lot of buzz.
Maximus Mom in the chat room says, and Frankie keeps pushing. He wants to be a co-host on the show that Julie Chen does, the Talk, or whatever it's called.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either. Frank.
Julie loves him. Julie loves Frank.
Social media mogul. What's not to love that is social media mogul. Okay, so you said in the beginning of the show, and I completely agree with you, that do you feel like this season was stacked for returning